Breaking news. Washington trembles tonight. For the third time in 6 years, impeachment proceedings against Donald Trump have begun. But this time, the tremor is different. 47 Republicans have crossed the line, joining Democrats in a resolution that now bears 212 signatures. In less than 72 hours, nearly half the House of Representatives united against the president. Something catastrophic has detonated in the Capitol. This isn't symbolic. This isn't theater. This is Impeachment 3.0, unfolding in real time. Lawmakers rushed into secure rooms, reporters scrambled outside the Capitol, and phones buzzed with alerts. When signatures pile up this fast, it means the evidence isn't just persuasive, it's devastating. Picture the Capitol dome glowing under floodlights, but inside, the air is heavy, tense, and electric. Every corridor whispers the same word: impeachment. Why would nearly 50 Republicans betray their own leader? What did they see that shattered years of loyalty? Is America witnessing the collapse of political allegiance in favor of constitutional duty? The political earthquake, January 15th, a classified intelligence briefing. Lawmakers filed into a secure chamber beneath the Capitol, expecting routine updates. What they received instead was evidence described as irrefutable. Documents, transaction records, and communications linking administration officials to foreign financial interests during ongoing federal investigations. This wasn't rumor. This wasn't partisan spin. These were bank records, timestamps, signatures, the kind of evidence that doesn't vanish under cross-examination. For years, GOP loyalty to Trump seemed unbreakable. But loyalty has limits. When confronted with documentation suggesting obstruction, wrapped in national security protocols, even seasoned defenders faltered. Representative Gerald Whitmore, a Republican chairman who once called impeachment a witch hunt, emerged from the briefing trembling. Hours later, his name appeared on the impeachment resolution. Loyalty had met its breaking point. Did these Republicans act out of conscience or calculation? Was this patriotism or political survival? If obstruction can be hidden behind the veil of classified intelligence, does presidential power have any limits at all? Think back to Nixon. It wasn't the break-in that destroyed him, it was the cover-up, the obstruction, the abuse of power to conceal wrongdoing. History doesn't repeat itself, but tonight, it rhymes. The hidden briefing, January 14th. Beneath the Capitol, in a secure chamber shielded from cameras and reporters, members of the House Judiciary Committee gathered for what they thought would be a routine update. Instead, they walked into a 6-hour session that would alter the political landscape forever. Lawmakers expected charts and summaries. What they received were transaction records, hundreds of pages, showing financial flows that aligned suspiciously with enforcement holds inside federal investigations. The evidence wasn't abstract. It was concrete. Dates, signatures, amounts. Gerald Whitmore, Republican chairman from Ohio, had defended Trump through every storm. He dismissed prior impeachments as partisan theater. But on this night, witnesses say his hands trembled as he flipped through the documents. Reporters waiting outside saw him emerge pale, lips pressed tight, refusing questions. Hours later, his name appeared on the impeachment resolution. Loyalty had shattered. The bombshell came when Deputy Treasury Secretary Margaret Collins took her seat. She was asked directly about the enforcement holds. Her answer froze the room. 11 seconds of silence, then 4 words. "I cannot answer that." Pressed further, Collins explained she had been advised not to discuss the chain of command. The obstruction, she implied, had been classified as a national security matter. The implication was chilling, covering up potential crimes under the shield of secrecy. One lawmaker whispered, "This is bigger than Watergate." Those words leaked within the hour. Is national security being used as a shield for corruption? Who gave the order to silence investigators? If the president can decide what evidence Congress may see, does accountability even exist? The hidden briefing ended, but its echoes reverberated through Washington. Lawmakers left shaken, some in tears, others in silence. By nightfall, signatures began appearing on the impeachment resolution. The storm had broken, and the Capitol would never be the same. The evidence is on the table. The signatures are collected. But Washington is now a battlefield of words. Every side has its narrative, every faction its defense. And in the middle of it all, the questions cut like blades. Justice or revenge? Pro-impeachment. When obstruction is documented, justice demands accountability. Revenge has nothing to do with it. Pro-Trump defense. This is payback. Democrats never accepted his presidency, and now weak Republicans are joining the witch hunt. Conscience or calculation? Conscience. They saw evidence that loyalty could no longer excuse. Their oath is to the Constitution. Calculation. They read the polls. They saw markets tumble. They feared being dragged down with him. Patriotism or betrayal? Base reaction. They sold out. They betrayed their voters. They will be primaried and destroyed. Scholars' view. Patriotism is fidelity to the Constitution, not to one man. Breaking ranks was duty, not betrayal. Can democracy survive truth contested? Optimistic. Documentation, bank records, testimony, facts will prevail. Democracy survives when evidence is undeniable. Pessimistic. In the age of disinformation, even evidence can be dismissed as fake. Democracy collapses when reality itself is negotiable. National security or obstruction? Defense. Protecting intelligence sources is vital. Classification was necessary. Critics. National security was weaponized to hide corruption. That is obstruction wrapped in secrecy. The crossfire rages. Justice versus revenge. Patriotism versus betrayal. Truth versus denial. Washington is no longer debating policy. It is debating reality itself. And the outcome will decide whether the Constitution still has teeth, or whether loyalty to one man can eclipse the law of the land. The fallout. The signatures are collected. The resolution is introduced. But the shockwaves don't stop at the Capitol. They ripple outward, into the streets, the markets, and across the world. Public reaction. Protests erupt outside congressional offices. Some demand accountability, waving signs that read, "No one above the law." Others rage against betrayal, chanting that Republicans who signed the resolution are traitors. The divide is raw, emotional, and dangerous. Market turmoil. Wall Street reels. Stocks tumble as investors question the stability of American governance. International markets echo the panic. Allies whisper about instability. Rivals smile at the chaos. Party fracture. Inside Republican leadership, panic spreads. Emergency conference calls. Senators split between defending the president and protecting the party's survival. Some argue loyalty must hold. Others warn that defending the indefensible will destroy them for a generation. Trump's defense. On Truth Social, Trump lashes out. He calls the resolution a witch hunt, labels defecting Republicans as traitors, and vows revenge. But his defense carries contradictions. If the documents are fabricated, why classify them? If there's nothing to hide, why silence testimony? Constitutional crisis. Legal scholars warn, if obstruction can be hidden under the veil of national security, then presidential power has no limits. Accountability collapses. The presidency becomes monarchy in all but name. Closing line. Impeachment 3.0 has begun, but the real trial is not in Congress. It is in the hearts of the American people. Will loyalty to one man eclipse the Constitution, or will accountability still hold weight in Washington? The fallout has only just begun.